Welcome to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the big butch manly pop culture podcast that is willing to sacrifice Jesse in order to be a traitor. I'm Shane Holland.
And I'm Andrew Wheeler.
Today, you guessed it, we are talking about week 2, episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the Traitors UK. Wow, wow, wow. Just when you think you've seen the best of the Traitors, do they throw us, I think, one of the most entertaining weeks of this show they have ever produced.
It's been an incredible week. Yeah, definitely one of the best. Episode 5, I think, will go into the pantheon of great Traitors episodes. Episode 6 was kind of almost a come down. Like, it was still a great episode, but like, it was just paying off what episode 5 had set up, you know?
Hmm.
But as a whole, these 3 episodes, terrific. A+.
A plus. And it starts off strong with the secret traitor reveal. Fiona walks into the turret way too soon into the season. Let's be clear. Absolutely unplanned that it was going to be now. But Fiona
Yes.
walks into the
Yeah.
turret and unmasks herself and instantly proves how chaotic she is and how chaotic she is playing this game.
She's a maniac. She's a
She's an
maniac on the
absolute maniac.
dance floor, you know? First of all, Fiona was high up on my list of suspects for the secret traitor, so, you know, I'll pat myself on the back while I'm scratching my shoulder. Yeah, I had a hunch about Fiona. I thought she was canny under that sort of like sweet grandmotherly demeanor. But at the same time, I also thought she was like probably really competent. Like she had done a good job of hiding that she was the secret traitor to the other, if not necessarily to the audience at home.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not a mastermind. She's not a Machiavellian arch manipulator. She's just a chaos demon. And that is valid too.
Yep. Yep. I mean, we should have seen that coming based on like who she was throwing out there as choices to
Yeah.
murder. Every time it kind of took the traitors by the other 3 traitors by surprise. Like, oh, I can't believe they've chosen this person. What could their motives be?
Yeah.
Who benefits from this? And it turns out, I don't think she had any motives. I think she was truly just being like, I want to see them, and them gone, and let the cards
Yeah.
lie. There was no strategy, so much so that it was almost the perfect strategy. And if she had continued with that strategy, I mean, who knows where we would be today? Spoiler alert for the following 3 episodes. Put that in right now. But Fiona might still be in this game if she hadn't blown up her own game in the most fantastic fucking way.
Just almost actually setting things on fire, it felt like. Yeah, she's extraordinary and she's terrible and she's wonderful.
Yeah,
And I
she is
will
my
miss
mother.
her
She is my
chaos.
sister. She is the father I never knew I had, and the brother I always wanted. The other 2 traitors left are Stephen, our precious baby Stephen, and Rachel, who I think up until this point have been doing a great job. I was going to say incredible, but they both have heat on them, particularly
Solid.
Stephen. They've been
Yeah.
doing a solid job, though. They've at least, for having heat on them, they have been able to deflect every time up until about these episodes where Stephen becomes the person that everyone is talking about. And that is kind of what leads to the major blow up in episode 5, which we'll get to.
Stephen, style icon for sure. I've already seen Instagram posts that are just like a slideshow of Stephen's outfits. Like, yeah, this is an incredible dresser. I didn't know they had such good shops in the Orkneys or wherever he's from. It's like he's not getting this off Temu, that's for sure. Yeah, he's lovely, he's hapless, and I am so jealous of his wardrobe. And I do not know how much longer he can last. I think the blow up may have helped him because Rachel is squarely in the sightlines because of how much that final round table for Fiona felt traitor on traitor. But of course, we're watching it knowing that it's traitor on traitor. The question is, do people in the room read that as traitor on traitor violence? It's the best traitor on traitor war I've ever seen on this show.
Oh, yeah, it was electric. I mean, fuck everything else. Let's just talk about it. The way that it was all like based around Amanda's like parting words to Rachel,
Yeah.
Amanda having outed herself as a cop to Rachel in secret, then getting eliminated, and then Rachel telling Fiona, like, this is what I just learned. And Fiona being like, fuck that. It's like, what? Like, this is a traitor telling you a secret. Like, why would she lie to you about
Honestly,
this? Why would she blow up her own game to you in a private conversation? And then Fiona's reaction is to like go and tell everyone that that she thinks that she knows that Rachel is a traitor. It was just and Steven is there and you can just see him like going like and everyone else is like, what the fuck? But Steven is like, what the fuck are you doing? It was beautiful television that I wasn't expecting to see.
yeah, I messaged you after I saw the episode because I saw it before you and was like, holy shit. Holy shit. Don't go to bed without watching this episode. The thing that blew my mind the most is that Fiona's view that that the lie about Amanda that was not a lie was just to target her. That literally only makes sense if you are both traitors. Like only if Fiona and Rachel are both traitors is there a reason for Rachel to target Fiona in that way with something designed to discredit her. Otherwise, if they're faithful, it means nothing to anyone. It's like, oh, she told you this, she didn't tell me this. What was going through Fiona's mind that she thought that she would look like a faithful coming out of that conversation? Like it was pure paranoia on her part. There was nothing to it at all. Except maybe that she felt like, well, there was that thing she kept saying, well, you know, my brother's a cop, my husband's a cop. Why wouldn't she tell me? And the answer is because she didn't trust you. And also you weren't that
Rightfully
close, which
so.
was hilarious. Like later when I think it was Jack was like, you know, were they close? No.
No, I don't think they ever talked to each other. Yeah.
I don't think so. Whereas Rachel and Amanda were buds. So, yeah. Fiona, what an incredible just kamikaze run. And it did not work out.
No. How could it? Is the question. Like, how could it have ever worked out for her? I love that she tried to twist
She
it. Like,
kept...
I can see that, like, Rachel's not out there defending Steven, and here she comes in with this thing
Yeah.
about a cop, and I guess, like, being related to a cop makes you feel like a cop. And so she's spinning the wheels, like, okay, how do I get out a traitor and add money to the pot and make me come out like a good guy? It's like, well, that's not it.
I'm related to a TV producer, so that makes my positions on the traitors very authoritative, actually. You know, just by osmosis.
Last thing I want to talk about, Steven, before we move on to other people, and rightfully so, because there are other people in this game other than this beautiful model twink. When he decides that he has to vote out Fiona, that it is the only logical move, and it kind of and it actually saves his reputation in a big way because she was in the room where Ross had put out that he thinks if someone reveals a secret, then they are a traitor.
It was Ben saying if I die, it's to make Ross look guilty or something like that.
Right, exactly. I mean, God, so complicated. If I ever play this game, there is no way I'm going to remember little details like who was in the room when Jimmy said if Jack murders Rachel, then Rachel is the traitor. Like, there's no way I would remember those details.
I think Jessie just has this one thing in her mind that is like, this is it. This is the whole enchilada.
Oh my God.
Wild.
Stephen makes a decision to vote out Fiona, and he breaks down at that table, and it was so precious. And I am both. It both makes me feel like, okay, people are either going to now trust him, or he absolutely is a traitor. Like there is just
Yeah, that's it.
there's no he's put himself in this position where there is no gray area. Like he is absolutely one or the other. Whereas a lot of other people, it's like, well, they may be, or I think it could
Yeah.
possibly be. People with Steven are like, oh, that's a traitor, or absolutely not. So I really hope that he can turn this around. I would love to see him win this game. I would love to see Rachel win this game. They've both been
Yeah.
fabulous television characters, and they've just been dealt a shit hand by Hugo and then Fiona.
Yeah. I don't know if breaking down was to his advantage or a total, like, just a self-exposing move, because was he close to Fiona, especially because, it just seemed like a lot of reaction compared
A
to
lot
everyone
of
else at the
emotions were
table.
safe. Yeah,
A lot of emotions for safe, which he is not.
yeah.
So fair enough. And also, we'd already lost our other gorgeous blonde who cries at the table, so there was a vacancy to be the gorgeous
Mm.
blonde who cries at the table. If Stephen goes, maybe Ellie will take up that role. We'll just keep having.
I mean, the self-proclaimed blandest of them all, Ellie, and the hilarious reveal that her and Ross are actually dating, which proves our point from the last episode that multiple people in this game are
Are
actually
in
related
relationships.
in relationships in
Yeah,
one form or another. There has to be a third. All good things come in
yeah.
threes. There has to be a third relationship in this house. I think it can't be any of the people who've been eliminated so far because that would be an amazing confessional,
Because
like
they would.
immediately. So that means that two people remaining in the castle absolutely are related to each other. And I can't I don't know who. I thought like Maz and Faraz, that was a good
Yeah,
guess of ours, but I don't think that that is correct now. Uh like
it would be so strange if for them not to acknowledge it if it's true once Maz is gone. Not that
mhm.
Maz was ever noticed. Like it would have been equally underwhelming to the Ross Ellie reveal, and that might be a reason to conceal it. But not really. And I was still so hoping that Reece had a secret boyfriend in there,
Me
and that
too.
has not been exposed either. So maybe Matt and Sam are secret boyfriends, or Matt and Steven. They have no basis for thinking there's a secret boyfriend couple in there. I just really want it to be true. I think, hashtag heated rivalry. You gotta try and milk these things.
That's exactly right. I One of the most hilarious Instagram posts I saw is someone someone on Twitter posted like, just coming off of my Twitter hiatus to say I'm so proud of my boyfriend Steven. And someone commented, not this coming for people who are coming for his boyfriend. Like literally coming out of hiding to say, nope, that one's mine. You might have to bleep the F words that I use
Okay. We might have to bleep all the F words that we've used, but yeah.
there. So unfortunately,
So
that means
Stephen
that
has a
Steven is
boyfriend, is
taken,
what we're. Okay,
but
all right.
not
Well, maybe
someone
it's a
in the
throuple.
cast. Maybe it's a throuple, and we know gay people. Who's to say? Who is to say?
Who's to say? Um, all right, let's talk about who's been eliminated because, or just run through. Interesting to me that Rachel and Harriet are the only players north of 40 still in the game. Like, actually, the most targeted group is the olds in this game. Ross and Reece are the only players south of 40 to be eliminated. So we're
30
gonna
somethings.
soon be just a very and Rachel's barely over 40, so it's not like Harriet's basically the last one there with the grey hair. We lost Ross in an early round table that was surely just taking place to get the numbers right for the challenge that was to
Mhm.
immediately follow. Like that was really the only justification because they hadn't had a murder the night before because of Hugo and the secret traitor. Like it was another domino to fall in that strange confluence of events that they then had to have a breakfast round table, something we've never seen before and will probably not see again.
No.
Maz, I think Maz must have stolen the last pan au chocolat at breakfast one day, and Fiona was like eyeing it up the whole time, and that's why she had his name down every single time. And finally, she got what she wanted. Then
Be careful what you wish for,
Amanda
I
the
guess.
cop. I really want to talk about Amanda and her obsession with Jade, and the fact that she said proudly in the first week that it was really hard to change her mind. Like once she has an idea, she sticks with it. And I'm like, you are a cop.
Tell me
That's
that you're a
on no
cop
account
without
should those
saying that
words
you're a cop.
ever. Yeah, like those words should
Once I
never have
fingered the
left
murder
your lips.
suspect, you are it. You are going to jail
Yeah.
no matter what, whether you're
No amount
right
of
or wrong,
evidence is
whether you're
ever going to
guilty or
sway
not.
me.
I mean,
and
honestly,
the fact
like,
that she was
what could
wasting
be
her
more
vote,
cop
round table
behavior,
after round.
Andrew?
It is. It is cop behavior. But every round table, she was voting for Jade when no one else was. And it's like, what is the value of your vote? It's not Jade. I mean, we know it's not Jade, but even so, no one else at that table thought it was Jade until now someone else is like voting for Jade at the last sort of post-Amanda round table. It's like, poor frickin' Jade cannot get
Poor
a break.
Jade. No. Beginning to
we
love
were
Jade,
saying, watching
by the
it.
way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She's so
Stunning
gorgeous.
fairy on this earth. And she's so brilliant. And you can just, and she's getting like the Reece treatment where you can see like week by week, she's like, well, I have no way of winning. Like I've been totally screwed
Yeah.
over by everyone else's game. And no matter what I do, like I just can't win. So I'm resigned to just being at this castle until someone tells me to go home.
I agree with a poster who said there's no way she's a traitor because she's getting enough sleep to wake up and do her eye every morning. And that she must be sleeping well. But yeah, we were watching last night and discussing like every time the camera cuts to her, it's like she's just this gorgeous statue of a beautiful like nymph. And just like,
Yeah.
why do you think she's evil? She's just beautiful. I know those things correlate a lot. But...
that is.
And then after Amanda, the useless cop, we have my poor baby. Reece, the most suspected man in that room some of the time, the incredible Reece versus Amanda vote off that led to only the second tie that we've seen in Traitors UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so glad that Reece survived, but also knew that like these were the final minutes of his airtime either way, because he actually, while there was suspicion on him, he was sensible to keep in. But his tears were so convincing, and that's the one thing that can save a faithful who seems super suspicious, is a genuine display of emotion, something that can't be faked. And he was so truly devastated by that experience and the mistrust against him. And he's such a sweet, precious baby. I love Reece. And I was robbed of the shower sequence.
Shop.
He works in a sweet shop. I want to go to the sweet shop. It's my new, I'm coming to the cottage. I'm coming to the sweet shop. and yeah, we didn't even get, when they were discussing the murder victims, a cutaway to Reece in the shower. So what the hell, traitors?
Now, we did get our glorification moment in these 3 episodes, and it wasn't who I was expecting it to be, but I was pleased nonetheless.
Matt, the naked handstander?
Yeah, of course, Matt the naked handstander, wearing boxers, which is absolutely not the choice to wear when...
Not what he does in his art.
No, absolutely not. I imagine that he does it without underwear at all. But like when you're on TV, don't you feel like that's a precarious situation? Like boxers are loose clothing. Aren't you worried that something is going to fall out? Like how many takes did they have to do of that? And where can I get? And can I keep a print?
Matt's having a resurgent week. Like he's coming into lead character territory. Yeah, he does have, if people don't know, he does have an Instagram account where he posts pictures of himself in different locations doing handstands naked. And it's,
sorry, I'm just looking this up right now.
Butt to the camera. So yeah, he's naked with his butt to the camera. Yeah, well, it's on Instagram. And it's literally, he is an artist, he's a photographer, and this is part of his practice, is that he posts these and he sells them. And like, he does gallery shows. Apparently one of them sold for £3,000. So, you know, it was
Furiously
great
finding out how
advertising.
much I can afford to spend on pictures of Matt.
I can just print some off for you, baby. It's fun.
Uh, okay, can we? I mean, I could talk about Reese forever. Absolutely a sweetheart. The worst way to go. One of the worst
Yeah.
faithful arcs in the history of this show. But I
Yeah.
need to talk about Matt in that last episode. First of all, he is voted the fairest of them all. And I was like, I don't know if they meant it as who's the hottest in the castle, but as soon as it was said, I was like, he is pretty hot. But I
He
think
is
what they
hot.
actually meant
The
is
hottest?
who is the fairest. He's not the hottest, right?
Yes. No, he's not the hottest. I would say
Who's
Reece, you would say Stephen.
yeah, that's right.
But
I
then
mean,
you have
Sam
Sam, who is,
is classically hot,
yeah,
but
he's
Sam is
Timu Jonathan
also
Bailey.
he's also voted the most arrogant, and that is very
Yeah,
clear.
unhot.
Ar-
Faraz is gorgeous.
yes, agreed.
And I feel like there's other.
This is a
Jack is
season.
hot.
Yes, this is the season full of hotties. Also, I mean, God, this says so much about me, but I'm also kind of into Adam. Like, he's just such right. He's real salt of the earth, like in every sense of the word.
Every time I see Reece, I want to hug Reece. Every time I see Adam, I want Adam to hug me. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly. The three of us,
that's
we could
the
be so
that's
beautiful
that's the
together.
state. There's that throuple that we've been dreaming of.
Oh my God, is
Yeah,
Adam
Matt.
dating Reese? No, that can't be right.
So yeah, Matt the fairest, first to go into the prize of getting to talk to the traitors in a confessional booth in the church. And his first question is, who do you want to kill next? And they say Jesse. And his second question, and it turns out that these two questions are directly related to each other, is, if you kill Jesse, can you then recruit me the following night? Which is so weird and baller and smart and stupid. Like, I don't
Oh yeah,
know. The brilliance of it is that he indicts himself by saying, all right, I consent to you killing Jesse. Then I want to be a traitor. So he's already, like, basically, the traitors can screw him over somehow if they can get word out that he wanted to kill Jesse, which they might do to Harriet immediately in the next start of the next episode, you know?
yeah.
Or Rachel could do it. Rachel can just say, weird thing, they told me that Matt wants to kill Jesse. So yeah, super risky, super baller. Like, he wants to be a traitor, and this is one of the few times in the game you have the opportunity to say to the traitors, please
I
recruit
want to
me.
be a
And he
traitor.
took it.
Yeah, and I love that. I think that is that's a story we haven't had on the show. No one has
Yeah.
ever like people will go on there and be like, "Yeah, I came in here saying I'd be a traitor, but now I'm 100% faithful." This is the first time a faithful in the middle of the game is like, "Pick me. I dare you to
Yeah.
pick me." And
Do you think they will?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I really do. And I think what Steven and Rachel are going to see is like this is an opportunity to put heat on someone else. Like that is,
Yeah.
if I were in their position, that is what I would do. Like, yeah, of course, come and join us and start the Whisper campaign immediately so that when you get to that next round table, the heat is off Rachel, the heat is off Steven. All of a sudden, we're focused on Matt, who's been so fair this entire game, so balanced. He's always right. That's because he was a traitor all along. Hey,
Yeah.
now we've gotten rid of the three original traitors, Hugo, Fiona, and Matt. We're only dealing with recruitments now. Blah blah blah. The
Yeah.
wheels spin, and yeah, you get as a traitor get an actual shot to go to the end.
What Rachel needs to do is say, before Fiona left, she told me she takes photos of herself doing naked handstands. And then Matt will be like, why wouldn't she tell me that? That's
Yeah.
outrageous. Rachel's a traitor. I remembered one of the things I wanted to say about Fiona. She kept saying she was going to bring evidence to the table. She had no evidence. She brought
Yeah, no.
nothing to the table. I kept waiting. I was screaming at the TV, what is your evidence? What have you been hiding from us? Your brilliant, like, Perry Mason moment. But actually, like, she had nothing. What did she think her evidence was? I'm so baffled by
Well,
it.
I saw her in the turret.
Yeah. I want to talk about the challenges and the brilliant secret second twist that has not been advertised, but is really helping to make this season a lot of fun. And that is the use of shields as a sort of confounding tactic. The cages are the latest example of this. We didn't get it in the 6th episode, but in the 5th episode, they use they use shields to create opportunities for the faithful to exert influence over who gets murdered. And that's brilliant. The faithful always feel like they have no power. But these challenges give them a power, which is it's not just one shield for one player or 2 or 3. It's like as up to 10, 12 shields are in the offing, and they get to do their best to manipulate or to conspire to decide who does and who doesn't get a shield. And the cages one was especially good because of the way Fiona just threw it. She was like, nope, I'm not helping Reece at all. I volunteered for Reece, and Reece, of course, the perfect little cute baby Reece, the perfect baby faithful, is like, you know what? Give my shields to other people. Give my skulls to other people. And
take
it's like,
it from
that
Fiona.
seems like traitor
Take
behavior.
it from Fiona. She's not doing anything for me anyway. Don't worry about it.
And that would be traitor behavior for many people, I think. But for him, it was genuinely selflessness. Like, he was just, you know what? I just want to help my friends. And some people are like that. Some people are willing to throw themselves on a grenade, you know?
Calling them friends is generous, considering how they were all gunning for him every episode.
Yeah. But this use of shields is brilliant.
Yeah, I really like that we are handing them out like candy at this point. It is not you don't go into a separate room and out like your team of 5 gets to pick one shield. Now it is we are like fully fighting for it. We're playing these games to win something tangible besides the money. I really like that. And I think it proves to me that the power is still in the player's hands and not like, I mean, sure, you can see how production twists it to make sure, like, okay, we'll play a game so that certain people might have an advantage here. But at the end of the day, like, it really is up to chance that you might or might not get a shield, that you might or might not get an advantage, like talking to the traitors. That is brilliant to me. That makes this show feel firmly on the side of the players instead of firmly on the side of casting.
I also want to, I correct myself here. The cages were episode 4. Episode 5 was the Flaming Spears, where again, Reece sacrificed himself. And again, that looks like a traitor move if you're a certain type of person. Like, I totally get where Reece is coming from with that. He's like, you know what? There is no way that I'm getting a shield. I would rather kill myself and not have to kill anyone else. Like, what a pure soul. What a beautiful boy.
Also,
drop the calendar, Reece.
Give me that gift of Reece shouting his own name dejectedly and shoving a flaming spear into a worker man.
Yeah.
Me torturing myself Jade, by going to work every day. Shame.
Jade getting to flame Amanda, you know, I love that as well.
Yeah.
More of
fun
that.
Challenges.
Well, no more of that.
No more of that. Really fun challenges this season.
Yeah.
And I love that we're not redoing any challenges. Now, I say that
we'll see them all again.
I just started the US Traitors and I was instantly reminded, like, oh, we do this twice.
Yeah. But for the second time, we have to do it with Michael Rappaport, so it's worse. We will discuss that in a separate video. We won't get into that.
I have so much to say about it already. I've only seen one episode, and I am over it, and I have never laughed harder.
I will say the Smoke and Mirrors challenge was a bit of a dud, like especially when it came to smacking those mirrors open, and they clearly had to CG in the smoke.
Why? Well, they also had the CG in the fire around the shield when they did the flaming
Yes.
spheres, which was also pretty hilarious. But why was it only like 3 or 4 questions? It should have been like 10 questions. And I know it would have taken a lot of time, I guess, and there must have been a lot of work involved
They can
getting those
edit.
mirrors to say the things that, but like you can
Yeah.
edit. And yeah, the 4 questions just felt so flat. And the reward was so like enormously outsized compared to the challenge itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do this
Do you
stupid
have any
thing
thoughts?
and ruin someone's game.
Do you have any thoughts on what Harriet's going to do and what Rachel's going to do in their head-to-head chats?
I mean, so great that we are holding on to Harriet winning or to Rachel winning this challenge. I would love for her to get a chance to just stand in front of Steven and be like, so who we murdering tonight? Also, um, I I love that they are separated by like the thinnest veneer of a wall and they are whispering out loud to each other. Like these are the two people remaining who have maybe the strongest accents. All you have to hear is like a and be like, oh, well, that's Stephen and Rachel. You can hear it. You can hear them. I don't need to know what they're
I'm glad
saying to know that's Stephen and Rachel.
I'm glad Stephen acknowledged the Celtic knot thing of the traitors all
Thank
being
God. Thank
Celts.
God.
Yeah, that needed to be said out loud.
Mhm.
Rachel, yeah, is having so much fun with this. I assume there's some production going on where like Matt is not standing there listening to them talk. Like they put some headphones on him or something because
Hope.
you don't want to blow up the game that way.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see what Harriet does with this. Yeah, she's
Yes.
been a really great player, and I think
Secret
she's
barrister.
all she's a barrister, and she was very like prominent in the first episode or so because she was saying
Yeah.
like well, Hugo is also a barrister, but he's an idiot. He blew up his game immediately, and she has then since like flown under the radar and is now coming back up as someone who has opinions and is making connections and her being suspicious of Rachel is a great opportunity for her to catch Rachel in this moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's why uh we didn't see Harriet go first. We are saving her
Yeah.
until the next episode because we are going to come face to face with something that could be like a game defining question. Or she's gonna waste her chance and learn nothing and we're gonna bring in Matt and everything is gonna go
Yeah. Yeah. It's a knife edge. I'm so excited for week 3.
God.
This is a
Let it be
great
as good as
fun
week two.
season.
Yeah.
How can it be? But they will always surprise me. I'm sure they
Yeah.
have more like deviousness up their sleeves.
We get what, 4 weeks in total? Like there's 3 episodes next week,
Yeah,
and then
we're
there's
halfway.
okay, great. Thank God. Like I could watch a show forever. And thankfully, because it airs in every country in the world, I will. So and we've got way too many weeks of the US coming up ahead. And I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to revisit all of these challenges and see how it plays out just slightly differently.
I just need Rappaport to go. Sorry, I will get into it on a
We'll get
separate
into it.
video. Please
Yeah.
follow and like and subscribe so you can see our reaction to the Michael Rappaport tainted season of US Traitors.
There are some saving graces. We'll talk all about it, but don't forget to tune in for a recap of week 4 of the UK traders, week 1 of the US traders. That's
3.
all coming up. Week 3? This is only the oh my God.
Next
Lord.
week 3.
Okay, right. Yes, thank you. Well, just watch it all. We're going to be watching it all. We're going to tell you all about it. Thank you to our loyal viewers for sticking around. We know that like 100 of you are interested in this topic, and we're doing it for you. We're mostly doing it for us. We love to talk about this. As always, thank you for listening. Until next time, kiss, kiss.
Bang, bang.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel. You can follow Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at KKBBpod, or email us at kisskissbangbangpod@gmail.com.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is recorded in Toronto on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples.